right, Black and White Network supporters, just when you thought Chicago and its local government could not turn anything into more of a clown show, and I'm talking Bozo here, WGN 1980s, Bozo the Clown, throwing ping pong balls over into the little buckets. God, I loved that as a kid. I really did. Loved the Cubs and Harry Carey on WGN too. Here we are. And residents, well, let's just say Chicago residents are fed up. Now, question is, are they going to get fed up enough to change the way they vote? In other words, are these residents going to finally say enough is enough? We're going to vote red. Now, of course, Biden has jumped out there. All of a sudden, I'm going to build the wall. You can see he's already trying to take credit for this crap. You're the one that stopped the process of the border wall being built to begin with. So, you don't get to take a victory lap over that now. No, that doesn't get to happen. You caused this nightmare. You lay in that old-ass bed that you made, Crypt Keeper. You get to lay in that. That's your mess. I don't care if you build 12 walls now. Nah. You got nightmares. You got that New York mayor flying to other countries because of this crazy nightmare. And Democrats are like, do we have anybody else we can call in out of the bullpen to run for president? Gavin Newsom. Oh, God. Okay. Anyway, we're going to get to this 25 buses of migrants coming into Illinois. In fact, why not? Let's start there. Why not? And then we'll get to citizens being fed up and actually filing a lawsuit over migrants. That's a beautiful thing. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker was told to prepare for up to 25 buses full of migrants each day as Chicago struggles to shelter and keep up with an influx of migrants being sent from Texas. You ain't going to do that to Texas either, all right? You claim to be a brave, stunning, and courageous sanctuary state. Chicago, sanctuary city. New York, you said the same. So these governors who do not support this, they do not support this, of which you're voting, got you this president that has allowed this. You do not get to blame this on Greg Abbott, and you don't get to blame this on one Ronald McDonald DeSantis either. You don't get to do that. No, you voted in this president, so you don't get to blame Greg Abbott for 25 buses of migrants. No, if the border was shut down, these migrants wouldn't be coming in. I mean, it just is what it is. Shouldn't have opened your mouth. Governor said the warning came from Texas, which has been busing migrants to Chicago, a designated sanctuary city, for several months. You can thank J.B. Pritzker, you can thank Lori Lightfoot, you can thank Brandon Johnson, because they're the ones that have said forever with open arms, we are a sanctuary city. They are welcome. I mean, my goodness, you got a deputy mayor, Beatrice Ponce de Leon. You can't make this shit up. Ponce de Leon, the deputy mayor of immigrant, migrant, and refugee rights in Chicago. Let me clean that up for you. Illegal aliens. Also reported similar guidance, noting that buses could potentially bring in 1,250 migrants a day. The 25 daily buses would mark a dramatic increase compared to the totals reported by Chicago so far, more than doubling the numbers arriving in a single day so far. Chicago, like New York and other cities, have been struggling to find housing for more than 17,000 migrants, illegal aliens, who have arrived since August 2022, most of which have come from Texas, largely under the direction of Republican Governor Greg Abbott. Once again, if it wasn't for Joe Biden's policies, there would be no migrants to come, period. But yeah, you're a sanctuary state. You're right. I'm in Texas. We're shipping them right to you. Good luck. Look at your mayor, look at your governor, and on a national scale, look at your president. It's their fault, not our governors. Quote, lots of communication for our staff on my end and for the governor of Texas, Pritzker told NBC Chicago Tuesday, and I've made it very clear that the governor needs to stop what he's doing and that we all should be working on reform together. See, that in itself is the wrong sentence to say. I told the governor to stop. How about you tell the president to stop? He shouldn't have to deal with all the folks who are coming across the border and staying in Texas. Yeah, he shouldn't. You're right. We shouldn't. You're right. But look at your president and blame him. At least Eric Adams is talking on a federal level these days. Are you too scared? Oh, my goodness. This is crazy. So, Chicago residents, they're fed up. I don't blame you for being fed up. But you voted blue. This is what you get. A bunch of illegal aliens in your lap. Because our borders here in Texas are wide-ass open. Oh, I'm building a wall. Nuh-uh. No. Trump was building a wall. You are now just finishing what Trump started, something you could have kept going the moment you sauntered into office, Crypt Keeper. But you didn't do that. Chicago residents filed a lawsuit to stop city from using public buildings to house illegals. At least they're saying illegals, but this is the Gateway Pundit. Residents in the South Shore community of Chicago filed a lawsuit on September 26th to stop the city from housing illegals in public buildings such as police stations and schools. The residents filed a prior lawsuit in May, which sought to stop illegals from being housed specifically at the former South Shore High School in their community. The city ultimately determined they could not use the South Shore site, and residents voluntarily dropped the lawsuit. But as the flood of illegals continues, and more public buildings are being used for the benefit of non-citizens, the South Shore residents filed an updated, broader lawsuit in Cook County. The new lawsuit argues that the use of public buildings to house illegals is a nuisance to the community, and the city is also violating zoning ordinances by using public areas. I love it. Additionally, the suit calls for an audit of city funding. Bravo. I have to give you credit there, Chicago citizens. An audit of city funding used for illegals and related housing. That money is coming away from you residents. How much are your taxes up there? Question mark. Just wondering. How much are you paying in taxes to deal with this clown car show? While Chicago has spent over $100 million to care for illegals arriving in the city, thanks to Joe Biden's broken border, thus far officials won't provide transparency on how the money is being spent. The City of Chicago Finance Department recently denied a Freedom of Information Act request for copies of years' worth of invoices related to more than $57 million spent on staffing company that has a contract with the city to provide staffing in shelters. Wow. And look, they have no choice. They are going to have to give those documents up at some point. The city claimed, quote, the burden of redacting records outweighs public interest in the information. Oh, so citizens of Chicago, your city says they don't want to go to the trouble to give you that information. You're not worth it. Listen, voters of Chicago, how much longer are you going to let the local government, the state government, and the national government, the Democrats, there we go, the socialists, running this show, how much longer are you going to allow them to take a big mango-sized crap right on your forehead? Because that's what they're doing. I mean, they are shoveling a shit sandwich right in your face, giving you a full plate of it. Vote red, folks. The new lawsuit adds claims that the move to turn police stations into makeshift shelters where migrants have been sleeping on floors for months violates federal occupational safety and health administration standards, I'm sure. quote, should not be in parks, floors, and schools. He should be in residential housing, whether that's hotels or hostels or apartments or houses or some kind of group living facility. Olivia told the Sun-Times, it's not sanitary, it's not residential living, it's not humane for people to be living there. Some people in South Shore, along with residents in other neighborhoods such as Woodlawn, feel that they have been excluded from providing input on the city's plans to use public buildings for migrant housing. In the Roseland community, it goes on to talk about the 1,400 illegals that is going to be in a tent base camp. I've got a video out there you can go back in our videos and find on the tents that Brandon Johnson's going to put up. Yeah, really, really nice looking yurt situations, I guess you would call it. Spending an unbelievable amount of your money on that. Tempers flared at a meeting on Chicago's South Side over plans to reestablish a migrant shelter at Lakeshore Hotel in Hyde Park area of the city. Community members are concerned about the noise, cleanliness, and drug use that they say is prevalent when it is served as a shelter. You mean more than happens on a local level every single day from all the criminals there? I mean, really? They got a whole new customer base that just moved in. With all these migrants, they can sell dope to them all day long. My goodness. Wow. $1,250 a day. Right there. Coming straight in. I'm telling you guys, the only reason that Biden is building that wall now is because an election is coming, and this illegal alien situation has exploded. I mean, even some mainstream media outlets are giving some coverage on it. And when that happens, that's not a good look. You combine that with all of the, multiple issues that Biden's got. Otherwise, how about including being old as shit? How about that? You throw that in there, train wreck situations like Afghanistan, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We all know his failures. Bidenomics, the Inflation the Inflation Increase Act that he put in. I actually said reduction. What a joke that turned out to be. Wow. I will give the residents credit for this. At least you are filing a lawsuit. At least you want transparency in the records. That's a great step. But the biggest step you can take is walking into a voting booth and checking R, provided that it's not a swampy R. Okay? Look for your local America First candidates. If any of them are willing to step up there, are there any in Chicago, America First candidates? Hell, they're probably too afraid to step out of the house, scared they're going to get shot. Who could blame them? I mean, my goodness gracious. What's going on up there is nuts. I mean, every week with the crime, now this, and Brandon Johnson. I almost said Brandon Joker because I'm literally thinking about a clown in my head right now. Just him with the bozo shoes on and the hair, and I'm seeing him painting his face and getting ready to go to work every morning, getting his red nose out so he can plonk it on so he can go out there and try to juggle cans in the air that literally have stickers on them that say horse shit. Just juggle those every day to the residents in Chicago. I dropped a lot of S-bombs in this video. It is Rhodes Rants and not Rhodes Talks. If you're offended by that, I'm not sure what to tell you. It is what it is. Tell me what you think in the comments section below. I know many of you will. I'm not going to say that I take enjoyment in doing these Chicago videos because, there's a lot of bad shit going on up there. But at the same time, I do have a lot of fire around those particular videos when I do them. So, peace. I'm out. Till next time.